The day Sun Yi-jin made Hyun Bin cry. The real story behind Hyun Bin and Sun Yi-jin's bond. What could possibly bring a man like Hyun Bin to tears? Behind the dazzling lights, red carpets, and perfect smiles lies a story few have ever heard, a moment so raw, so emotional, it shook even the strongest heart. Join us now on Red Carpet Revealed as we uncover the hidden truth behind one of Korea's most beloved couples. The tears, the silence, and the secret that changed everything. What could possibly bring a man like Hyun Bin to tears? The world knows them as the golden couple of Korean entertainment, Hyun Bin, the strong, stoic heartthrob with $1 million smile, and Sun Yi-jin, the elegant queen of melodrama with eyes that speak 1,000 words. Together, they were the dream team in Crash Landing on You, and eventually, in real life. But what the public doesn't know is that behind the perfectly curated images and romantic headlines lies a moment so raw, so painfully human, that it would change everything between them. It happened on a rainy evening in November 2022. After a long day of shooting separate projects, Hyun Bin arrived home late, exhausted. The couple, usually inseparable, had barely seen each other for weeks. Tensions had been silently building, not from anger or mistrust, but from the overwhelming pressure of fame, privacy invasions, and the expectations of an entire nation. Sun Yi-jin had been unusually quiet. Something was coming, and Hyun Bin could feel it. She was waiting for him in their living room. Lights dimmed, a single envelope resting on the coffee table. No cameras, no scripts, just two people, stripped of all pretense. The rain tapping against the windows echoed the unspoken tension hanging between them. "I need to tell you something," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. What followed wasn't a scandal, nor a betrayal, but something even more profound. Sun Yi-jin opened up about the immense fear she had been carrying. The fear of losing herself in the public's expectations. The fear that their relationship, as beautiful as it was, might be crushed under the weight of fame. She confessed that she had thought of stepping back, of walking away for the sake of preserving what little peace they had left. Hyun Bin, usually composed, sat frozen. The woman he loved was in pain, and he hadn't even seen it coming. As she spoke, her tears fell freely, but it wasn't until she looked up and said, "I don't want to lose us. But I don't know how to protect us either." That something inside him broke. And then it happened. Hyun Bin cried, not on screen, not for a role, but as a man faced with the terrifying possibility of losing his anchor, his partner, his love. He reached for her hand. And in that moment, everything they had built seemed to teeter on the edge of collapse. But what he did next was what truly defined their love. Hyun Bin didn't just wipe away his tears. He stood up, walked into the bedroom, and came back holding a small, velvet box. Not a grand proposal, not a media spectacle. It was quiet, humble, sincere. "I was saving this for a better time," he whispered, opening the box to reveal a simple, elegant ring. "But I think the right time is when you need to know that I'm not going anywhere." Sun Yi-jin was speechless. The air was thick with emotion. She didn't say yes immediately. She didn't need to. The silence between them was louder than any answer. The next morning, Hyun Bin cancelled 2 major meetings. He didn't offer excuses. He simply said, "Something more important needs my time." He booked a private villa in Jeju Island and left with Sun Yi-jin that very night. No bodyguards, no assistants, just the two of them. Over the next few days, they disconnected from the world. No phones, no scripts, just books, long walks, ocean breeze, and healing. There, on the shore one evening, Hyun Bin built a small bonfire. He took out the letter Sun Yi-jin had written the night she confessed her fears and tossed it into the flames. "That fear doesn't live here anymore," he said. "We write a new story now." And they did. Back in Seoul, he arranged for both of them to have more creative control over their schedules. He began turning down projects that would take him away for long periods. He encouraged her to do the same. Together, they restructured their lives, not around fame, but around love. Later, in a quiet dinner with close friends, Hyun Bin raised a toast and said, "I used to think the most important thing was keeping our love safe from the world. But that night, I learned that the real strength is loving someone even when the world feels too heavy. But perhaps the most touching insight came from those who knew them best. In a rare off-record conversation, Hyun Bin's longtime manager, Park Ji-hoon, revealed, "I've worked with him for over 10 years. I've seen him tired. I've seen him stressed. But that night he called me. Voice shaking. I'd never heard him like that. I had never seen him so vulnerable. He said, I thought I was protecting her. But I forgot to protect her heart." Hyun Bin and Son Ye-jin, two of Korea's most beloved celebrities. Walking red carpets in flawless designer wear, smiling under camera flashes, waving to crowds that scream their names. They are the epitome of elegance, fame, and cinematic romance. Magazines call them Korea's royal couple. Fans around the globe swoon over their public appearances, curated Instagram posts, and perfectly timed smiles. But behind the glittering facade lies a reality very few ever see. They look perfect, but they're human, said a staff member from a joint commercial shoot in 2023. Who requested anonymity. They show up with grace. But sometimes I catch them in the quiet moments between takes, tired, distant, weighed down. Hyun Bin is known for his charisma and calm. But those closest to him know the toll that fame has taken. He's always calm on the surface, said longtime friend and fellow actor Yoon Woo-sung. But there were nights he'd call and say, I don't know who I am anymore outside of the roles I play. That hit me hard. Son Ye-jin, often dubbed the nation's first love, carries a different burden. Her image is built on vulnerability and grace. But the pressure to maintain perfection can be suffocating. Ye-jin is incredibly kind. But she hides a lot, shared her stylist, Lee Min-kyung. She'll laugh with everyone on set, then lock herself in a dressing room and just stare into space. She's not sad, she's exhausted. The contrast between their public and private lives became most apparent during their courtship. Though they appeared composed in front of cameras, behind the scenes they were battling fears that their love wouldn't survive the public obsession. There were times they thought about ending it, said Hyun Bin's manager Park Ji-hoon. Not because they didn't love each other, but because the world wouldn't let them love in peace. Fame amplifies everything, love, conflict, even silence. When they announced their relationship, it wasn't with fanfare, it was a quiet statement. No exclusive interview, no photo spread, just a confirmation of what many had suspected. And still, even that sparked relentless speculation. Where were they living? Were they fighting? When would they marry? What the public didn't see were the nights spent apart due to schedules. The whispered phone calls across time zones. The tears no camera captured. We want to believe our idols' live fairy tales, said entertainment columnist Jang Soo-min. But real life isn't a drama. It's quiet heartbreaks and unseen resilience. Their wedding in 2023 was beautiful, not because of its grandeur, but because of its simplicity. Surrounded by only close friends and family, the couple exchanged vows that acknowledged not just love, but survival. You are my peace, Hyun Bin reportedly said, tears in his eyes. That line, raw, real, and unrehearsed, perhaps captured the essence of who they truly are away from the spotlight. Today, they continue to live in that delicate balance, shining brightly on screen, while fiercely guarding the quiet corners of their private world. And maybe that's the real story. Not the fairy tale we imagine, but the truth they live. That behind the smiles and stage lights, behind the glamour and praise, are two people simply trying to hold on to something real. And that is what makes them more human, and more admirable, than ever.